Good afternoon. This is Team Pearl C125 to present on the Bugatti Rimac joint venture analysis. We'll cover a brief introduction and then some global business impacts and synergies, discuss the analysis and predictions, then strategic recommendations, and then wrap up with a conclusion. In this presentation, we'll examine the Bugatti Rimac joint venture, a strategic partnership between two performance automotive powerhouses, and assess its impact through the lens of a global business. We'll focus on two critical case questions. First, will this joint venture likely to succeed or fail, and why? And second, how should the partners, particularly Mate Rimac, prepare for the inevitable cross-cultural challenges that come with the merging of a historic French luxury brand with a cutting-edge Croatian EV innovator? We'll approach this case from the perspective of a global strategy advisor analyzing joint ventures and mergers in the premium automotive sector. Since the original case was based on the events through 2021, we'll also briefly highlight some key updates, such as the reported profitability in 2022 and some significant product development milestones that help shape our current view of this long-term viability. Let's begin by understanding the major players involved in this joint venture. Bugatti was founded in 1909 and is one of the world's oldest and most prestigious automotive brands. It's known for ultra-luxury and high-performance hypercars like the Veyron and Chiron. In 1998, Bugatti has been owned by Volkswagen Group and managed under Porsche's umbrella. Production remains in Mulsanne, France, both a historically significant and operationally strategic location for the brand. In contrast, Rimac Automobili is a newcomer. It's founded in 2009 by entrepreneur Mate Rimac in Croatia, and the company began with a garage-built electric BMW and quickly earned the attention of innovation in the electric powertrains. Their first success, the Rimac Concept 1, was the fastest electric hypercar at the time. Their second model, the Nevera, boasts nearly 2,000 horsepower and a $2 million price tag. In 2021, Porsche, already a key investor, increased his stake in Rimac to help with the Bugatti Rimac joint venture. Ownership is split 55 Rimac Group and 45% Porsche. Bugatti's production remains in France, while Rimac's headquarters is in Zagreb, Croatia. Mate Rimac leads the new joint venture as CEO. What makes this partnership compelling is how it merges Bugatti's engineering legacy and luxury pedigree with Rimac's innovative EV technology. Together, they aim to redefine the future of hypercars, combining combustion and hyper excellence with a fully electric breakthroughs. Global business and impact synergies. So what can this joint venture teach us about global business today? Well, first, it showcases the strategic technology transfer. Rimac brings advanced EV battery and drivetrain systems that Bugatti and Porsche can leverage for future electrification. Rimac in return gains access to the global resources, world-class manufacturing, and marketing power. Second, the partnership boasts brand equity. Rimac benefits from being associated with world-famous brands like Bugatti, which elevates its visibility and appeal amongst luxury car buyers and investors. Bugatti, in turn, gains an image of future-forward innovation, thanks to Rimac's EV expertise. Third, this is a case study on a distributed global value chains. With headquarters in Croatia, legacy operations in France, and investors in Germany, South Korea, and beyond, this venture reflects the increasingly global, interconnected nature of modern automotive production. This isn't just a business deal, it's a globally coordinated innovation engine powerhouse.
And now we will discuss our analysis and predictions of success. So let's consider our case question. How should Mate Remats and this joint venture prepare for cross-cultural challenges? Cultural friction can undermine even the strongest partnerships, and Bugatti and Remats are not exempt from this. Some key cultural differences worth highlighting quickly. We see that France values structure, roles, and formal communication styles, while Croatia values flat hierarchies and entrepreneurial cultures. On the corporate side, Bugatti abides by well-established luxury brand protocols, while Rimac still enjoys the freedom and agility of a fresh new startup. It's also essential to understand that this collaboration merges many distinct national and corporate cultures, not just France and Croatia, although these two will be our focus. The Rimac Group, which is the parent company of the joint venture, alone is composed of Croatian Rimac, German Porsche, and Korean Hyundai Motor Group, and other international owners from these and other countries. The joint venture specifically merges the innovative, fast-moving Croatian tech startup culture of Rimac and the traditional luxury-driven French-German culture of Bugatti. And to succeed, Rimac and Bugatti must combine strategic insight with organizational structure that honors both cultural heritage and global competitiveness. According to the Culture Factor Group, which utilizes Hofstede's cultural dimensions theory to compare nations, with the six dimensions being power distance, individualism versus collectivism, motivation towards achievement versus success, uncertainty avoidance, long term versus short term orientation, and indulgence versus restraint, ranks Croatia and France almost neck and neck according to these parameters. The largest gaps appear in two of Hofstede's dimensions, individualism versus collectivism, and long term orientation. And here's how we can address these differences. In order to address any issues with individualism versus collectivism, we must first use knowledge and awareness of differences to merge the cultures. Our text speaks of one of the dangers confronting a company that goes abroad for the first time is the danger of being ill informed. So, first, we must establish cross cultural literacy sessions. Specifically, we'll set up cultural intelligence workshops, which include content on French, German, and Croatian business etiquette, communication norms, and conflict resolution styles. We will establish communication norms through language sensitivity training. While English may be the working language, being aware of nuances in tone and directness, for example, Croatian directness versus French indirectness, is important. Also, being aware that much is lost when we communicate in languages that are not our native tongue is paramount to success. And to synthesize all of this training, we will use scenario based role playing or scenario planning and communication boot camps to practice managing disagreements and decision making across cultures. This sensitizes the team to the two communication styles we expect to be at play in daily operations. For example, during the workshop, we'll emphasize how Croatians tend to be low context in conversation or straightforward and talk openly about most things. If someone doesn't like you or disagrees with something that has been said, you can usually tell. When researching the influence a culture has on the design of websites, Josifa Selfefer describes Croatia with its relationship oriented communication style as more collectivistic than many other European nations. She found Croatia's web designs to reflect the close national ties and close social ties and shared identity of the community at large. Soft spoken people may be seen as lacking in confidence in Croatia and may be taken advantage of, sometimes even viewed with suspicion. Humor is appreciated and widely used in communication. France, on the other hand, uses indirect, nuanced communication, which is high context, especially in diplomacy or elite circles, but they also value fact driven analytical discourse, which is low context. In the quest to understand a culture's influence on negotiation, Wendy Adair et al. And other co authors describe the French as an enigma, suggesting the culture to be both a high and low context culture. Meaning, in conversation, this communication style can be seen as usually direct, but in a diplomatic way. They will tell you the truth, but often in a polite manner. And don't be intimidated if the French seem distant at first. They are, in fact, quite warm and witty once you get to know them. And many French are also hesitant to speak English. So even knowing just a few words in French can get you a long way. Hofstede's second cultural dimension worth focusing on was the long versus short-term orientation ranks of the two cultures. In order to address any issues which may arise, we propose creating an entirely new company culture that merges the expectations of the cultures while setting the expectations of success. And we'll do this specifically by creating a unified culture for the joint venture. We will define shared core values like innovation, excellence, and sustainability. We'll develop a symbolic identity with new branding, a new logo, new team rituals, or a hybrid company culture manifesto. We'll encourage cross-team collaboration, such as co-location or rotational programs between the countries. We'll also create a leadership integration plan by assigning dual leadership roles, for example, a Bugatti and a Rimac co-lead for engineering, marketing, and or production. We'll encourage holding monthly alignment meetings with executive level and cultural facilitators. And of course, no new plans are complete without implementation. We plan on implementing a clear communication strategy for shared language. We will strengthen communication by setting norms for emails, meeting structures, decision-making timelines, and feedback. And to reduce miscommunication, we will invest in multilingual tools, translation support, and shared platforms like Slack, Notion, or Confluence, which would streamline our teamwork. Lastly, we propose providing translators or cross-cultural liaisons in the early phase to ensure smooth integration.
Now let's discuss recommendations and implementations. Both France and Croatia score relatively high on power distance, meaning there's general acceptance of hierarchical structures and centralized decision-making. This cultural similarity supports the implementation of a strong leadership model, with Mate Rimac as CEO and Porsche as strategic overseers. Employees in both countries are culturally predisposed to accept clear authority lines, which can reduce resistance and internal conflict during the integration process. Mate Rimac has demonstrated strong intercultural competence working with Porsche, Hyundai, and other global players. His ability to navigate diverse business cultures using a transnational strategy boosts his chances of building a cohesive leadership culture across French and Croatian teams. Both companies operate within the EU framework, which means they are already accustomed to similar regulatory environments, labor laws, and market expectations. This minimizes misunderstandings and fosters smoother integration in business practices, reporting standards, and environmental social responsibility initiatives. We as a group perceive this joint venture to be a success with some strategic recommendations. While Rimac is focused on electric, many markets are still transitioning. A hybrid Bugatti powered by Rimac could serve as a bridge product, both profitable and aligned with current consumer readiness. Continue providing Rimac's battery and drivetrain systems to other high-end brands like Koenigsegg. This reinforces Rimac's market influence while generating steady revenue. Create cross-site innovation workshops and joint development teams. Collaborative engineering boosts morale, loyalty, and product excellence. Market the joint venture as a fusion of art and innovation. Bugatti's luxury legacy meets Rimac's futuristic vision. This positioning enhances internal alignment and external appeal. In conclusion, we have found that the Bugatti-Rimac joint venture is well positioned for sustained success. It combines legacy craftsmanship, cutting-edge innovation, and strategic capital. But success won't come automatically. It depends on managing cultural integration, operational alignment, and market expectations. To thrive, the joint venture must keep investing in technological leadership, embrace cross-cultural collaboration, stay focused on a shared global strategic vision. In today's competitive global landscape, the Bugatti-Rimac partnership is a powerful example of how traditional and disruption can come together to build the future. Thank you for your time.